Guys, what is going on? Oh my god. I don't even know what to say right now, to be honest with you. If you guys have been keeping up with this journey, um, I just last week I was at 164, and yeah, we hit it big. We hit it big for sure. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't really being like that risky. Um, so dude, this is just insane to me. I mean, wow, like my year to date is 32% now, or $42,000. That's just mind-boggling to me, dude. Like this is insane. So we got a lot. If you guys definitely want to hear my trades, we have a lot to discuss. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm not trying to have like 20-minute video, but yeah, let's get into this. All right, so leave this over here because that is just crazy to look at. All right, so we finished our open trades last week. We ended up getting out of open, which is awesome. All right, let's start for October. Yeah, October 3rd. So, we did. I got into SoFi. All right, I'll show you guys right here. We bought SoFi at 27.47, and I sold an in the money. Let me see if I can pull it up in here. I sold an in the money call at 26. So it was, and at the time, SoFi had just rallied up to like $28. So I was like, okay, I'm $2 cushion or whatever. And yeah, here it is. It expired worthless. SoFi actually dropped. It was at like $25.20. So this in the money covered call expired worthless, which gave me $10,000. Now, obviously, my portfolio did not show that because I was down on the shares. So I was like down over 9,000, but I got a realized gain of 10,000. So we pretty much broke even on this. So I was like, okay, well. And then I had a few puts expire, and I bought some puts back. But my big trade right here, coin. So you guys already know I'm in this Discord. And he's been calling out coin. He's like, Bitcoin's kind of breaking out. I really like it. And he's like, I like coin above. I think it was like 346. I was like, all right. So I was looking at the charts, and I agree. It was like an inverse head and shoulders in the pattern. Anyways, I took it, and I took it at the top of the day. So it started falling throughout the day, and I kept averaging in. And next thing you know, I'm at 9 total contracts because I sold one here as well. So I'm in 9 contracts, and I'm down like $500 when market closes. So I'm like, whatever. I'm swinging it. Dude, coin opens up. It closed at like 346, and it opened up at, dude, it was like 353. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was insane. Obviously, if I would have held until today, I would have probably been up over $20,000 on that call. So yeah, we closed right here. It was like 3 p.m. because I'm Central Time. Closed at 346, and when we opened up at, it was like 9, I guess 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I ended up closing my contracts when coin was at like 357. It was like in the middle of this. I think it was like 357, 358. I ended up closing my coin for a $5,500 profit, which was the 4,700 plus the 765. I was gonna leave a runner, and then the runner just kept going up, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna get greedy. I'm gonna go ahead and take profits because $5,500 in a single day is crazy. But if I would have just held a little bit longer, I would have been up over 20K, which is crazy to even think about. But regardless, I'm very happy with what I did. And that was on Thursday when coin shot up. And then UNH, basically same thing. Setup looked good. He was really, really digging UNH. Got in. I had to start averaging down because I got in. I always get in at bad times, so I end up averaging down. But anyways, we were able to make 515 total from the UNH calls, which was awesome. And SoFi. So instead of letting my puts expire on SoFi, last week, which I could have done, but I was like, just in case SoFi keeps going down a lot, because it was already at 25.20 from $30, and I was like, just in case, I'm gonna roll it out to 25.50 for a small credit. It was like $480 or something like that, and it would give me a 50 cents cheaper buy-in. And I was like, I'll definitely take ownership of those shares next week if SoFi is under that, because it would bring down my average cost from this 27.47 over here. So I ended up doing that, and needless to say, SoFi absolutely rallied this morning. Let me see. Yeah, SoFi absolutely rallied, and once we hit, I want to say it was around, yeah, it was like right around here, right around 11:45, because I sold at 11:40. Yeah, I sold it at 26.90 a share. If I can pull that up. Yeah, right here. I sold. So it's so funny because this morning I bought 1,000 shares to bring down my average cost. So I bought 1,000, and then SoFi started rallying. Sold my covered calls, and then I bought my covered calls back for a $3,000 loss. So if I did not sell covered calls this morning, I'd be up another $3,000. But I did, because I like to be safe. So it took a $3,000 loss on this, and since I sold the shares at 26.90, we ended up taking a $3,400 loss on that as well. So I'm not touching SoFi for 31 days because obviously the wash sale rule, I would like this, 3,200 plus 3,400, so roughly $6,600 to help me out on taxes. So I'm not going to touch SoFi for 31 days because of this reason. I think it pops up in the realized as well. Let me see. Yeah, right here. So I closed these positions, and I'm not opening up any more new ones, because if I were to open up SoFi within the next 30 days, basically these losses would not count. So like I've realized, I think $37,000 this year, but it's because it's like my net loss. So if I buy SoFi, basically this $6,400 or so is not like, it's gonna look like I made, instead of 37, it's gonna look like I made over 43,000, but I didn't, and it's because the wash sale would be disallowed basically. So if you ever take a really big loss on something, it's best for tax purposes. I'm not a tax advisor, but for tax purposes, do not touch that stock or an identical stock. Like if you're trading SPY, don't buy VU, because they're basically the same thing. So basically don't touch it for, it says 30 days, but I'm going to do like 31 or 32 just to be safe. And that way this helps out my taxes at the end of the year. But guys, I can't believe it. I mean, 175, what did we close at? We closed right under 175. So basically I got out of SoFi today because it rallied up. I mean, it was at 25.20 this morning in the pre-market, and it rallied to 26.90, and I had 27 calls, right? So, and those were worth, I think it was over $5,000 of value in those 27 calls, and it was right at 27. And I was like, well, cool. If SoFi expires right here, I'm going to collect another 5,000 of premium. But I had so much SoFi, I was a little bit in margin, and honestly, looking at my portfolio up this high in the middle of the day, I just couldn't say no. I didn't want to get greedy because, like, what if SoFi, I don't know, what if something bad comes out tomorrow and SoFi dumps $1? I will have lost all of this profit. And yeah, I would have made a lot of money from my cover calls at $27, but I don't know. I just didn't. I seen a green light and I took it. My portfolio's never been this high before, so yeah, I basically took it. Yeah, we've had some crazy swings recently. It's been pretty consistent since May, and then some crazy swings. So, but yeah, and then basically my new trades are, I love Meta. Meta and Google are my favorite stocks. And you guys know I love buying stocks when they're down. So Meta's down a lot, over almost 10%, I think. So I basically bought 200 shares, and instead of selling in the money, because Meta's already down a lot, so right, it's probably more due for a rebound than it to keep falling. And if it keeps falling, honestly, I'll probably keep adding because Meta is awesome. It's trading at a very cheap PE compared to the market. Meta is trading at a 25 PE. And I mean, you go to the SPY, right? S&P 500. And it's trading at a 28. So Meta is cheaper than the market. And honestly, it's probably growing more than the market is too. Meta is growing double digits, like 10, 11, 12%. So very, very high. And it pays a dividend on top of all that. So that works. But I ended up buying 200 shares and selling the 710 calls, which was slightly out of the money. I did collect $22.65, so $2,265 on this. And if Meta is above 710, then I'll collect the $22.65 and sell my shares for a slight profit. It'll be a $398 profit. I already put it in here, and then if I don't sell my shares, I basically just clear it out. But I like to put it in there since it's already above, and But yeah, guys, so that's my trade for this week since and still have these SoFi puts that I rolled. So I ended up rolling SoFi puts. We still have over $1,700 to collect, and we still have a $1 cushion for these puts expiring on Friday. So hopefully we can collect this $1,700 plus the rest of this $2,900. Well, $2,200 and some change. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video. This is insane. I hope all you guys are making money, right? Because this market is crazy. Right? Even the S&P is up 14%. If you're not making money in this market, like, what are you doing? I mean, you should definitely take a step back and figure out what you're doing wrong. Don't be trying to get rich quick. Don't be trying to go on these little meme coins or these small stocks. Honestly, getting rich is just about taking those 0.5% a week. Like, my goal is 1% a week. And my conservative goal, like, let's just say market is looking sketchy, market's bearish, whatever, then like 0.5% to 0.75%. If you can get 1% a week, that's over 60% annual. If you can get 0.75%, I mean, it's crazy. Here, let me check this dashboard out. Let me show you guys, right? If you get 2.25% a month, you're looking at a 30% annual. If you make just 2% a month, that's 0.5% a week. You're getting almost 27% a year. Who would not like 27% a year? That's over doubling the S&P 500 returns, right? But since my goal, I mean, obviously I don't plan to hit my goal every single time, but if I can somehow manage 4% a month, that would be 60% annual. I'm keeping this pretty. What was it at before? Was it at this? I like to keep this pretty reasonable, which I know you might say 39% is not reasonable. I don't really look at the annual percentage. I look at my weekly/monthly. Like, if I can get 1% a week or 4% a month, that's awesome. Or even half of that. So, yeah, I'll keep it right here. 30%. I feel like that's really, really good to do. But yeah, guys, that is if you guys want to peep for October, if the meta play is above 710, I will be up $13,300 in October, and it is only October 6th. I'm already up 8%. I mean, this is crazy. This bull market, everybody should be making money right now. Everybody. There's no excuse to not be making money right now. I mean, obviously, I'm sort of, I guess you can call it risky or edge. I'm not like super risky, but I'm definitely a little risky on my plays. But there's just no way you can't make money in this market. This market's not going to last forever. So we got to take advantage of this bull market or AI bubble or whatever you want to call it. We got to take advantage of this while it is still here. Okay? This market will not always be going straight up. It will not be. It's not going to keep doing this forever. All right? I don't know when the end of it is, but while it is going up, I'm going to try to make as much money as I can, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. We're probably going to get another one of these, right? It's crazy to think we'll never have another 20% pullback ever in the history of the S&P 500. It's crazy to assume that. And honestly, with these S&P 500 approaching almost a 30 PE ratio, I think this is probably the most expensive the S&P's ever been. It's crazy. And just thinking about that, like, obviously some companies have the growth. Like, for instance, Nvidia, if it has a 50 PE and is growing at 50%, I mean, that's fair, right? It's a one peg ratio. That's really good. But some of these companies are not producing that revenue. And they're still trading it. Like, for instance, Palantir, Robinhood, even SoFi. SoFi is not crazy expensive, but like Robinhood is trading at an almost 80p ratio or something like that. Let's check out a couple names real quick, and then I'll end the video. Hood, I love Robinhood, but I do not love it at 145. I love Robinhood under $100. 75 PE ratio. That is insane. Like, I can promise you Robinhood will not always be at a 75 ratio. It might not correct for another year, another 3 years, but it's going to compress. Kind of like how Amazon did. Amazon always traded at a high valuation. Look at the past 5 years. Amazon's only up 40%. That's what? That's like 9% a year? 8% a year? This is nothing. The S&P 500's beat this. Every stock's beat this, but the Amazon was so expensive before. Like, this thing used to trade at an 80 PE ratio. Now look at it, 33. This is the cheapest Amazon has ever been. Ever. And it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. And 33, I mean, that's good. Still kind of on the pricier side compared to like Google or Meta. Which, if you want to get into Google, check out why it is one of my favorite stocks of all time. Not only is it up 31% year to date, not only is it up 242% in the last 5 years, it's cheaper than Amazon. 26. $3 trillion, and it pays a dividend. I mean, you're getting a dividend stock. 26 PE ratio, which is slightly above, I think 23 to 24 is its 5-year average. So it is higher than its 5-year average. But Google's still growing double digits. Google and Meta are still growing 10, 11, 12%, which is really good. Apple, on the other hand, 5% growth. 4 to 5% growth on Apple. You want to see what Apple's trading at? Absolutely ridiculous. Apple's trading at a 39 PE ratio. That doesn't mean Apple can't go up, right? That does not mean Apple can't go up. But when we get this next bear market or 10% correction or 5, whatever it is, 10, 20, 30%, whatever it is, these are the stocks that are going to get hit the hardest. It's going to be these names that are trading at expensive evaluations. Dude, I remember I think it was 2022, 2023. Apple was trading at like a 25 PE ratio. Pretty decent. And then I remember on CNBC, Apple got up to like a 29 to 30 PE ratio, and they were calling it overvalued. They said, oh, Apple's approaching 30 PE, man. This is really high for Apple. Now it's at 39. And no one's saying anything because the market's just so bullish. But these are the companies that I don't want to be in when we do start correcting. I want to be in Meta, Google, which are trading at a PE lower than the S&P 500. I mean, you can't beat that. And these two healthcare names, I honestly just got at a really cheap, 60% from all-time highs, and this one was like 30% down from all-time highs. And it's kind of a little hedge against tech. Not the very, very small positions, but it's like a little hedge. But guys, yeah, take advantage of this bull market while it is here, because when it is not here, it's not going to be fun unless you're really good at scalping puts or scalping bounces on calls and stuff like that, which is another reason why I'm in this Discord with my boy, because whenever this does come, I'll be more cash and I'm just going to be scalping his trades because he's making money on the upside or the downside. And I did not make money in 2022 when we had the downside. So the next downside we do have, I'm trying to make money that year. I'm trying to be able to pay taxes because I was green in a bearish market. But guys, that's just something to think about. I'm going to end the video here because I've been rambling on. But I hope you guys are doing great. Here is my Roth. I have not. Damn, I meant to get into a trade today. Totally forgot. So I will hop into a trade tomorrow. I'll probably throw in $500 or $600, maybe get this total to 3,000. And yeah, we'll see if it's gonna be either SoFi or, Open is really the only cheap stock that I can get into pretty well. I don't know. I think Open's been going crazy though. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Open's going crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do SoFi and just do one contract. I'm not trying to get into a stock that's up 15% in a day. Hopefully SoFi will, not go too crazy. But all right, guys. I appreciate you guys for listening. Sorry that I got this video out so late. It's Monday. I try to get them out on Saturdays, but honestly, I was just so busy on Saturday, and I was about to make the video Saturday evening, but I was like, I haven't even ate dinner yet. So I went and made dinner, and yeah. Needless to say, Sunday, got busy, same things happened. I was like, man, I gotta eat dinner. So that's why the video came out on Monday. But yeah, crazy month. And we're 6 days in. Peace.